Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dear listeners, we're back on your show, the Choice, and today we're talking about social media and real friends. Joining me is my friend, my best friend, brother engineer Muhammad Farooq.
Jazakallah.
And we have discussed in the beginning of the show about friends, who are friends, how to get friends, and so on. And Muhammad had two more hadith to mention about friends.
Okay, wonderful. Actually, these are verses from the Holy Quran. You're right. I apologize. The hadith is, none of you truly believes until he wishes for his brother what he wishes for himself. Now, these are some of the filters that you can apply and on your circle of friends and see if they qualify to be your friend, and more important, do you qualify to be their friend as per these standards. And another very popular hadith, which goes something like this, that there are seven whom God Almighty will shade on the day of judgment, when there will be no other shade except His. And one of them is two men who love each other for Allah's sake, meeting for that and parting upon that.
Subhanallah.
Okay.
Subhanallah.
And there's another very nice saying. It says, whoever conceals the fault of a Muslim, God will conceal his fault on the day of judgment.
Yes.
Very important when we'll be in front of billions of people.
These are all criterias from the prophetic wisdom of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam
In selecting friends.
in selecting friends. So I have a very, very important question, Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
When do we need to get rid of our friends?
Very important. Remember, before the break you mentioned about Surah Al-Kahf, or the cave.
Yes.
This is a chapter mentioned in Quran. There's a very nice verse of that chapter that goes, content yourself with those who pray to their Lord morning and evening, seeking His approval, and do not let your eyes turn away from them out of desire of the attractions of this worldly life, and do not yield to those whose hearts we have made heedless of our remembrance, those who follow their own low desires, those whose ways are unbridled. So these are the three characteristics. First of all, we need to apply these on ourselves and see in which direction we're going. And second, we need to apply these on our friends. Because, and there's a very strong reason, and God Almighty has shared that reason with us. And that's in chapter 25, verse 27. And remember the day when the wrongdoers will bite on his hand, and he will say, woe, would that I had taken a path with the messenger. Oh, woe to me, would that I had never taken so and so as a friend. He indeed led me astray from the reminder, that is Quran, after it had come to me. Okay, so this verse tells us two very important things. First is to take the path of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
Peace be upon him.
And second, to take those as friends who are on this path. So this will be a way for success in this life, which is a temporary life, and in the hereafter, which is the permanent life.
Maybe I could share two incidents, Muhammad, where I got rid of my friends. And these two incidents happened a long time ago. The first one, when I was almost, I think, 18 or 19, and I was hit badly by my martial art instructor, and I was bleeding and really hurt, and he was about to kill me. And my friends were there, my really, really close friends were there, just watching and smiling. I could understand they couldn't do anything, but they could have done something. But just seeing them smiling because I was getting hurt, that was enough reason for me to let go of them.
Well, if it was this day and age, they would be taking selfies with you bleeding in the
I'm
background, and they would be making the video instead of coming to your rescue.
I'm sure of that. And the second batch of friends that I walked away from is when I started my career in the radio station 8 years ago. And the first program that I did, I was very nervous and very immature when it came to radio programs. And my closest friends, they are the ones who criticized me the most and said, you are worthless, and you're not meant to do these programs. And that day I had a very important decision to make. Whether do I continue with these people who are not believing in my abilities, or should I carry on and get rid of the excess baggage? And I made the right decision, and I got rid of my friends. And today I have a new set of friends who really believe in me and who are guiding me and always encouraging me and believing in what I can do. And we're always like brothers. So sometimes in life, I know it's a very tough decision to tell your friends that sorry, I can't be your friend. We greet each other, yeah, we respect one another, but I don't hang around with them.
Right. Well, I can relate to what you have mentioned at different levels. In my case, it just happened casually and without me actually putting in any effort, because they realized that I have become boring, and they wanted to pursue their definition of fun. So that just separated us. So our friendships, like we have discussed earlier, were based on some things that we thought we had in common.
Yes.
So they were common interests, or if you further refine the word, they were ideologies or faith, if you want to call it. So when I did a turnaround, they were shocked, and a lot of them decided that it's not worth their while hanging around with me anymore. And in my heart, I was also getting suffocated, but I didn't have the guts to tell them that, guys, it's off. So God had His own way, and we
went apart.
We just went our own merry ways, and that's how life is now.
Subhanallah. So the choice is yours again, our dear listeners, whether you need to get rid of your friends, especially if your friends are affecting your faith.
Yeah.
Everything else you can bear in life, but your faith is the most valuable asset that you have.
Yeah.
If your friends are affecting your faith and making you go astray, then it's about time for you to make a stand and to take a serious choice of letting go of your friends.
Exactly. We need to think about it. They're not going to be in the grave with us. They're not going to protect us or defend us on the day of judgment. Like we've seen from a number of verses of the Quran and almost limitless sayings of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, on this topic. So there's a saying that I don't agree with it altogether, but it makes you think. There's a saying that thank God, God gives us family. Thank God we can select friends, and it's quite deep if you think about it.
Yes.
It's a blessing if your brother is your friend, but there are cases when you are totally different.
That's right.
You just cannot coexist, so to speak. Yeah. So I agree with you 100% that our yardsticks should be faith. We should not make friends for the sake of it. We should not feel depressed or under pressure that I'll be all alone, and then what will happen? I'll be a social outcast, and don't make this decision under pressure. Don't make any decision under pressure.
Okay, now Muhammad, why do we live in communities? Because friendship, they bring us close to one another, and then we have these small communities or the big communities. Why do we live in these communities, Muhammad?
Well, we are social by nature. By living together, it entertains us. We feel loved, we feel bonded, we feel appreciated, we feel needed. If someone's in trouble, we reach out to them and we help them. That makes us feel even better. So there are a number of things. In one of the previous shows, I remember we discussed that one of the forms of punishment is time out for a child.
Yes.
And in case of adults, it's called solitary confinement or house arrest. Okay. So individually, initially you might say, okay, I'm living in my house, it's big, I've got everything, I'm alone, I can think about what's important in my life and so on and so forth. But after a while, you'll start to go insane. So we crave for socializing and bonding. This is how God made us. And one of the proof of that is that praying together, even if it's just the two of us, carries a reward which is like 27 times more than praying individually.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, Muhammad, I would like to remind our listeners that they can join our discussion.
Right.
And the numbers and the lines are open. The number is 24602058. 24602058. Don't be shy to call, please. We're here to hear all views. Muhammad,
Mhm.
why is it important for us to be social?
Well, you see, just think about it. Whenever was the last time that somebody you loved stopped talking to you? How much it just destroyed you internally? Could be your dad, could be your mom, could be your missus, could be any loved one. Okay, so the thing is, uh, and now the research proves that having a social life, healthy relationships, in other words, like you mentioned, living in communities, it improves our communication skills, it boosts our energy and confidence level, and people get to know more about you. Okay, so these are all healthy indicators. And if you keep someone, like we mentioned earlier, in a solitary confinement, then you will most probably get the opposite of that. And that's why when we think about it, our childhood days are still the best memories that we have, because we socialized a lot. We didn't have the pressure of work, other responsibilities. So we were carefree. We didn't have any sorts of questioning, so to speak. And still, to relive those memories, we still call our old friends, and we have, like stated earlier, we have high school reunions, and we have gatherings, and we talk about good old times, and we share about the good things and accomplishments which are in our life. So this is how we are. This is a normal thing, and we should not fight it. We should direct it properly.
Okay, now, Muhammad, we're going to the second part of the equation, which is social media.
Oh yes.
Can you give us a little bit of introduction, as you're a guru in social media and communications? So tell us a little bit about it.
Well, see, social media is used by almost one third of the world today. And if we look at it, it's one of the biggest shift since the Industrial Revolution. It's a complete transformation in the way we think, the way we act, and the way we expect others to act. So it's not just a fashion which will go away, and you can't avoid it. The only thing you can do is how you're going to utilize it so you're in the driving seat and you don't get led by it. And the other thing we have to keep in mind is over 50% of the world population is under 30, and the growth of social media has been exponential. Now these young people, they don't have much recollection of the good old days when friendships were made by playing in the yard or riding a bike, or meeting up at an event. A lot of them, they start their relationships online. A lot of them are used to screens. They've seen their parents do that, and they're also doing it. So the times have changed a lot. I'll give you an example. To reach 50 million users, it took radio 38 years. It took television 13 years. It used internet 4 years. It took iPod 3 years. And Facebook, which is one of the, or I should say, the biggest social media platform on the planet,
Yes,
it got 200 million in 1 year.
inshallah.
That's right off the graph. You can't even do the math on it. Currently, YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world, and it's owned by the first biggest search engine in the world. Yeah. And now, if you further drill down, 80% of the companies are using social media for recruitment. Current generation believes in social media instead of email. So you and I, we are the email generation. The current youth, they don't even believe in that. And some universities, they have stopped giving out email addresses to their students. Now they just give them tablets. And the peer-to-peer recommendation for products and services has skyrocketed, and this has totally changed the marketing industry on its head. They have to reinvent themselves to get your trust and your confidence to buy their product and their services. Okay, almost 40% of the searches online, they result from social media. Could be blogs, could be number of other things that you have. So we don't search for news anymore, the news finds us. And now we're getting into a point where we don't even look for services and goods, rather they find us. So there has been a paradigm shift all across the board. Now, social media is a tool, just like, as an example, radio was once upon a time, or television was, or internet was. And social media started on the internet, and then later on it migrated to mobile. So that made it more addictive. And it's impacting all the walks of life. It's not just limited to, as an example, to an IT department, or just to engineers, or just to computer personnel. It is impacting everybody's life, be they 4-year-old or 40 years old. And the scary thing is, the good thing is, most of the educational institutes, they have embraced IT and technology in their classrooms. They've integrated it. Yet, almost no school teaches children how to use social media as a tool. Okay. So in this regards, people who are in marketing, they are very advanced. They know how to reach their customers, and they know how to convert leads into sales. But as far as the youth is concerned, or the young minds are concerned, we have failed so far to teach them things like privacy. Okay. Things like what happens when you post something on the social media. It stays there till the day of judgment, so to speak. So there is no orientation for these young brains. We just give screens in their hands, and we let them discover social media.
So you think they go to social media to find friends, or for other reasons?
Well, you see, most of the schools, they encourage children to get online even if they have to do their assignments. So there's no way you can say, okay, like, my children will not access the internet. It's not going to happen. You stop it, they've got it at their school. Okay. Once they go online, either somebody will find them and they'll befriend them, or they will look for friends also. Just like your children are going online to do their assignment, there are hundreds and thousands of children all over the globe who are going online to do the same. And chances are their paths will cross. Now, we only supplicate that, they are the best of friends that they find. But in reality, generally, that is not the case.
Okay, so I'm sure there are a lot of positive stuff when it comes to social media.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, it's a tool. So if you want to look at it, like, as an example, in a nutshell, social media is all about obviously socializing and sharing. It kills the distance and it kills time. Okay, you can reach out to someone who's across the globe, and you can reach him instantly. He could be asleep in the other hemisphere, but your message would get there in a split second. It's a good platform for learning as well as teaching, as it's used extensively in education, employment, and entertainment. Sharing content, it boosts your creativity, it makes you more innovative, it improves your self-esteem. And when we talk about social and welfare causes, you can promote them globally, you can generate awareness, and you can even organize events. And lately we're seeing a lot of video, as in broadcasting and live streaming, being integrated on these platforms. So it's evolving. However, the thing is, it's impacting us in such a way that it's changing our habits and our expectations and our highs and lows, if you want to call them.
So what's the other side of social media, the negative part of social media?
Yeah, that's the scary part that few people know about. The trends are that there is a disappearance of emotions, there is a deception of identity, people are hiding behind social media handles, there are fake accounts. I mean, think about it. Why would you hide if you're a nice guy? What is there that you hide?
Yeah, you find some guys, they are called like Black Widow or Pink Rose or whatever nicknames they have.
Exactly.
Very funny nicknames.
Exactly. So, and by the way, you are saying funny, it becomes sad when you're over 40 and you're still using that email address. A time should come in your life when you drop that ponytail. for
That's
those who have them,
mhm.
and drop this handle. Get a decent email address. You know, you can still get something on the internet.
No, but why do you hide your identity in the first place if you're not going to do anything wrong?
Well, maybe the thing is they're worried about their own privacy, and they think
I
that.
would understand for our sisters they would
Mhm.
want a little bit of privacy,
Mhm.
and for guys not to bother them.
Mhm.
But I don't understand why do a guy, especially those who have girlish names,
Yeah.
nicknames.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Well, see, the thing is maybe they're trying to fit in and they're trying to find friends, if you know what I mean. But honestly, it's quite sickening, and perhaps they feel that they can maintain their privacy by doing so, but that's not the case.
Are you
Trust me.
sure? Because some of them are really aggressive and they criticize everyone, and they do crazy stuff on social media. Just because nobody can identify you doesn't give you the right to do it.
Yeah, well, some of them could be trolls, hired by particular entities who have their own agenda. And, that brings us to the issue of cyberbullying. Before we had never even heard of such a thing, but now it's very prevalent.
Mm.
It's one of the biggest threats that you have online. And the other thing is the social media, because we don't know its correct use, it's impacting our attention span, it's affecting our emotions, our decision making capabilities, and it's making our brain rewire itself.
Mm.
Now, this is a very big claim to make, but the research out there supports this. We are used to instant rewards, and this releases a hormone dopamine, which makes us feel good, and that's the same reason, by the way, we play video games. You cross this level and you'll get this many points. You cross this and you'll get another life. And some people, they never get out of that phase. They start playing video games as a young child, and they continue in the youth and even at adults, because you see, games used to be on the PC, and then they moved to internet. You can game with someone who's on the other side of the planet, and now they've gone mobile. And in countries where the public transportation is very mature, try riding a bus or get on the tube. Look around you. How many people are exactly reading a book on their mobile, and how many people are gaming?
Mm.
And that's one of
And how many people are actually socializing and talking to one another?
Exactly. No, nobody. I was shocked. I had a chance to go to Far East 10 years back, and then I went recently. And I could see the strange difference. The first time I went, they would ask me, "Where are you visiting from?" Small talk.
Mm.
How do you like this country? How long you're gonna be here? Have you seen this and this? And this time, when I, got on the public transport, it was like being with a group of zombies. Nobody would even look at you. Nobody
looks
even
at
knew
you.
you were sitting next to them or standing next to them.
I think, Muhammad, we have a blessing in the Arab world that we don't read a lot. We don't read books, yeah. So when we travel
I'm not sure about that.
when we travel abroad,
Uh-huh.
what happens is that Arabs are very social.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they will ask about akhbar and ulum and this, and in public transport we are very noisy. We're just laughing and talking because it's the only time you get to be very social with others.
Yeah.
And you might greet the person next to you, and he'd be looking at you and saying, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you,
Why you're saying hi to
why are
me?
you
What do you
saying
want
hi
from
to me?
me?
What do
Yeah.
you want? Yeah, so these type of things, they happen. We laugh about them, but yeah, maybe very soon we're going to move to that trend as well and
Well-
become very independent by ourselves and just staring at our phones and not even greeting people.
Exactly. I was reading, I think it's a country in Europe, that they are putting marker lights on the ground, on the roads, because people, when they walk, they're just looking at their screens. They don't even look in front.
And there are many incidents where people
Exactly.
lost their lives
Yeah.
because of that.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, you mentioned about this people not talking to each other and not saying hi. And if you say hi to someone and they look at you and in this weird, they give you this weird look. And this
It's
is,
as if, what do you want?
what do you want? Yeah. And this is given in a hadith by Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, where he says that as we get closer to the day of judgment, a time will come when people will only say salam to the people they know.
Yes.
So we have almost reached that. Check it out in your neighborhood and at your workplace. This thing has become very limited. So moving on to that, the other disturbing trend we see is we are becoming more and more, it's all about me.
Hmm.
Okay. What I mean by that is we tend to listen less and give more weight to our views. As an example, in a normal interaction, this could be 30 to 40%. You might say, how are you, how was this, and I say, well, so and so, what about you, how are your children?
Yeah.
When it's online, it's 80% all about me. I ate this today, I am eating this today, I will eat this today.
I hate that. I hate
This is happening.
People taking pictures of their food.
Yeah.
You know,
Posting
this is
online.
a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You might have the privilege of having it, but other people, they don't have.
Exactly.
And you just brag about it on social media.
Yeah.
Who wants to know what you're having for lunch
Exactly.
today?
It's pretty silly. First of all, you don't know what's going on in the other person's life. Second thing is, let's say you look at that picture, I don't know, a year after that, right? If your situation has become better, you'll say, oh, I used to eat that. And if your situation has become worse, you'll say, oh my God, that was so nice what I used to eat, right? So either way, it's going to disturb you mentally, right? So why do you want to take pictures of your food and you share it with the people you don't even know? And the other negative aspect, now this is interesting. First of all, social media is becoming a psychological addiction. So we've already talked about cyberbullying. Most of the children, they don't even know they've been bullied.
Yes.
In the school, if somebody hits them, they'll come home with a bruised eye or something, we'll know. But what's happening online, a lot of time, we don't even know. The next thing is...
we don't know and we don't check.
Exactly. We don't care. We're like, oh, he's online, he's doing his homework, that's fine. And the other thing is identity theft. Now, this was never heard of. Now, it's in one of the top 3 or 5 fears when they did the survey.
What is an identity theft?
Basically, I take on your identity, and using that, I make accounts, I make online accounts, I make bank accounts, basically, I become you.
And I send statement on your behalf.
Everything, yeah. I just become you. Or I take your name and I just stick in one extra alphabet. Okay, like instead of A, I use double A, and everybody thinks it's you. I put your picture on the profile and things of that nature.
And which is very easy to be done.
It's very easy to be done, and it is being done.
And it's creating a lot of problems.
Yeah, and people have to come online and defend, oh, this is not my official account, I have nothing to do with it, things of that nature. And then there is the issue of privacy, where we have online advertisement catered based on your profile. Okay, now other than that, there is the pressure for us to fit in. We want to have lots of likes. If we post a video, we want to have lots of views. It's this silly competition. We want to have comments, and some of the comments are very abusive, and then we feel negative about it. We get depressed. We start questioning ourselves. This is not sincere feedback from a friend, which is supposed to be private in the first place.
The thing that I noticed about the symptom of the like is that our thumbs are very fast on doing the like.
We don't even read the whole thing.
We don't even read, and we don't know what's posted. Sometimes you would post something that has to do with the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or you would post someone has passed away. People don't even take the time to say, oh subhanallah, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, may Allah has mercy on his soul or something. They don't. But if it's something silly, you'll have hundreds of comments. So priorities in life, priorities in values, we have lost our identity,
and that shows online.
Yeah,
because see, when you're making the post, I don't know, were you in a good mood, were you really angry, were you depressed, were you sad, did you have a loss? So the thing is, isn't it better you keep your emotions at that particular time private, instead of posting something and then saying, oh my God, I shouldn't have done that, let me go find out where it is and let me delete it. And we are told in Islam that every single word we say is documented.
Yes.
It's recorded in our book. Okay, so what makes us think that social media is different than that? Just because we didn't utter it, our hands uttered it. We commanded our hands to do that. So that's part of the book.
And the other symptoms that is there on social media is al-haya, which has disappeared, which is shyness and modesty. It has completely disappeared.
Right.
Guys and women out there, they post their personal pictures, dressing all sorts of stuff, and they enjoy people, saying, oh, you look nice today. Oh, have you lost weight? Oh, your figure is wonderful, amazing. And we are jeopardizing our values.
See, Hatim, the thing is, if we don't
and people think that there is nothing wrong with it.
Exactly. If we don't hold on to the precious guidance which God Almighty has given us, then all these things are expected. Even worse things are going to come down the line. I guarantee you that. It's up to us how much we can resist this nonsense.
It goes to the extent where unbelievable, Muhammad. You have people posting pictures of their wedding
Yeah.
ceremonies,
Mm-hmm.
where the husband is hugging the wife, the husband is kissing the wife,
Mm-hmm.
and it's become normal.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, you'd find like 200, 300, 1,000 likes, and life goes on.
And your friends are sharing it on their pages.
Yeah, this is something which is private for you and your spouse. This is a moment this contract has been written in the heavens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Allah has granted you this contract
Right.
of marriage,
And look what you're doing
and
with
you
it.
are disgracing that contract with Allah
Mm-hmm.
by posting these type of pictures on social media.
Yeah, Hatim, that will bring me to the next point, which I was going to say anyways, and I'm glad you started the discussion on that angle. There are a couple of new terminologies which have come out addressing the human behavior because of social media. One is PVS, Phantom Vibration Syndrome. This is insane. This means you think your mobile is vibrating, but it's not. So if it's quiet for a while, instead of enjoying the quiet, you start panicking. Why my phone is not moving or making noises? Is the battery dead? Did I miss it? You start checking your pockets.
Modern day disease.
Exactly, it's a slavery. Second thing is called FOMO, fear of missing out. What that means is if we see someone's holiday pictures or their new fancy wheels, okay, or like you said, their wedding pictures, there is a shock we feel in our heart that, oh my God, I don't have that.
And people are wondering today, Muhammad, why they are affected by hasad.
Exactly.
An evil eye.
Jealousy and evil eye.
They don't understand why. You spread the pictures of your entire family, every single event that you have, every single moment.
Instantly. Sometimes
instantly,
live.
Sometimes. And this is some the Prophet ﷺ says, "Uqdu hawaijikum bil kutman." You know, have your own affairs, your personal affairs, by silence. Do not make them public.
I was gonna paraphrase the same thing. You said it wonderfully. That protect your success and happiness by keeping a low profile. And you know, way back before Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that if we look at chapter Yusuf in Quran, that gives us valuable lesson. It's really insane the way we do. Okay, look what I ate, and look where I am, and look I am with whom, and this is my hotel, and this is my holiday vacation, and this is my new car, and guess who I ran into.
And the problem is, Muhammad, we're all falling into
the same trap.
Yeah. We're not saying that me and you are perfect. We're all following the same trend.
Exactly.
And there is no harm in saying that we're wrong.
Yeah, I mean, in this day and age, you know, we even see the religious people taking selfies and posting them and things of that nature. And by the way, I've done it too. So you know, like you said, we are slipping into the same trap, if not falling. And we want to project and amplify our best image. We will never show our vices. We will never show our shortcomings. And coming back to you know, the chapter Yusuf in Quran, Quran obviously being the guidance for the whole mankind, not only Arabs or Muslims. And I encourage everybody to get their hands on a copy of Quran in their own language and just open it up and start reading from anywhere. Coming back to chapter Yusuf, there are two incidences mentioned. One is when all the brothers were entering from the same door, okay, and they got hit by evil eye from strangers. Like their father told them, don't enter from the same door.
From the same door.
Yeah. And second event is when he told young Yusuf that don't relate your dream to your brothers. In this case, it was jealousy by the own brothers.
Yes.
So we're looking at evil eye from strangers
and from own family members.
Yeah, and then we're looking at jealousy from the own brothers, from our family members. Okay, so this is clearly, why do you think God Almighty selected this information or these incidences to be preserved in Quran till the day of judgment? It says in Surah Yusuf that
there must be a wisdom behind it.
We share with you the best of the stories, right? But see, these are the finer points in life that we have missed out. We're not teaching our children, we're not living by them, and then we complain when we suffer. We don't even know what happens. You say, well, I don't know, I get headaches and I've had all sorts of tests and the doctor says everything is okay. I don't know, everything was fine. What happened? Go back to Quran and find out what happened.
No doubt, Muhammad, we are not against social media. We are with social media, and social media has done a lot to
Right.
our lives. It has made things very, very easy in terms of propagating our message, our values, and we love social media. We can't spend an hour without going back to social media.
Exactly.
But we have to remind ourselves of going back to our values and what is important to us. Now, Muhammad, what is the social media doing to us today?
Well, you see, the thing is, I would like to say that there has been an invasion of social media, and I'm sure people out there would agree with us. Uh, but it would be unfair just to mention the dark side of social media. Like you said, just like everything else, there is khair and shar. There is good and evil in this thing. Unfortunately, we have become followers. We're not leaders. Just like in other domains, same goes for the social media. If the whole world is taking selfies, we're doing the same. We don't want to feel left out.
Yes.
We don't even think like, okay, what is the aspect of like modesty and shyness, or what is the aspect of being jealous about the goodness in your life and protecting it. Okay, we don't think what will matter if we go and we share what God's blessings are with us to others, not share with them but show them online, hey, look what I've got. So right now we see a lot of damage being done in the society, and I really request the people listening, especially those who are parents, okay, look, our children are watching us. Tomorrow they will do what we are doing, and then their children, and so on and so forth. So we need to get our act together. We need to use this tool in the best way possible, like we use the TV, the satellite channels, the internet, and the mobile. So if we're using this thing to promote a cause and not promote ourselves, then it's worth it. So our intention should be straight, that whatever we're using these tools, these are, number one, to please God Almighty, and to introduce some positive change in the lives of people around us. They could be our family, our friends, our neighbors, our colleagues. Then it's all well and good. And the first thing that comes to mind is doing dawah, inviting people towards Islam, the message of peace, the authentic true message, reminding the creation about the Creator.
I remember once a social media guru has approached me and he said, I've been following your Instagram account and it's a very interesting account, but you don't know how to market yourself. And he said, you don't have any pictures of yourself, you don't know how to market yourself.
So I'm not a commodity.
And I told him, I think you got it wrong. I did not open the account to market myself. I am marketing the idea. I have an idea that I want to propagate to other people, and that's what I'm marketing. I'm not marketing myself. That's why you don't find my personal pictures. Very rare you'll find my personal pictures on my account. So he said, but this is not the way how to do it. If you want to have more followers, then you have to put more pictures of yourself. I said, I don't want more followers. I only want a few who would understand the message, and if they take that message and apply it in their life, then Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we have done our part.
Exactly. Well, see, the thing is, Hatim, when we are alone, we really need to think that when we die, how many of these online millions of followers will be there to attend our funeral?
None.
Okay. And the other thing we need to see, like we were discussing, are we just promoting and advertising and branding ourselves, or are we sincere to a cause, a positive cause, something that will make lives of others and ours better here and will get us reward in the hereafter. And scientific research tells us that we cannot have more than 150, max 200 friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Real.
So we have to be very careful. The rest are all likes, okay, and followers. So the question is, we need to decide that, are we going to look for good friends first, or are we going to become that friend that others are looking for?
Sometimes, you know what I do, Muhammad? First of all, I don't follow people that I don't know unless I really get to know them. The other thing, sometimes I call some of these people who I've never met, and I say, how about we meet up and we get to know one another in person? That makes a very big difference in life. You know, seeing the person, getting to know them, and being their real friend.
Right.
Because in this world, we need brothers, we need friends, we need close companions. We don't need followers.
Yeah.
We need people who would guide us and tell us if we do something wrong. And I salute, there are people out there who might be your followers, but whenever you commit a mistake, they would come and tell you.
In
You
private,
have done
yeah.
in private, you have done something, you have
Exactly.
posted something which is
Exactly.
inappropriate. And these are the friends that you're looking for, not the friends who are any silly thing that you post and then they would
They're with
like
you.
and they would agree with you.
Exactly.
Whether it is good or bad, they just follow the crowd.
Exactly. You see, the thing over here is quality is more important than quantity. Okay. And when we were talking about projecting not ourselves but the grand cause, there's a very nice hadith of Muhammad Farooq where it's mentioned that he said, whoever seeks knowledge in order to show off to the scholars, or to argue with the foolish, or to attract the attention of people, then he will go to hellfire. Now this is a very soul-shaking and hair-raising hadith, warning. So may God save us all, because a lot of us, especially the youth, they get online craving for attention and publicity. And this we have gotten from the worldly, what they call idols, stars, things we were not supposed to worship as per Quran.
Subhanallah.
Okay, but if they have a show called the XYZ Idol, we have a show called XYZ Idol. You know, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So we need to be content, we need to be real, we need to be humble, and do the work which we are told to do. But like you said, watch out our modesty, our shyness, our morals, our culture, which is all drawn from Quran and Sunnah. Don't lose that. Otherwise, we'll be lost in this world and we will be losers in the hereafter. May Allah protect us all
for
from
this
that.
particular show, Muhammad, the advice that I would give to our listeners about the choice, not to choose between real friends and social media, but to use social media in finding the real friends.
Exactly. Exactly. I agree.
So, Muhammad, we have discussed the two choices. What is the way forward? What is happening? What is going to happen next, Muhammad, in terms of real friendship and social media?
Well, you see, social media will keep on evolving, but what we see now is it's impacting our thought process. Okay. As an example, if you like a page, it will recommend other pages. It's hindering us from having free thoughts. I look at it as mental slavery. It's deciding what kind of friends I should have. It's deciding what kind of content I should read, and whatever content I consume, that makes my personality.
Yes.
So this is very dangerous. People don't understand. They think it's innocent. They think it's just sharing files online. It will keep on evolving, but it will not be in the interest of the masses. I can tell you that now. So the people who are using this, first of all, see, Hatim, here's the thing. When you want to get a driver's license and drive a car, first you learn how to drive the car. We need to learn how to drive social media, not let social media drive us, because this is what we see happening around us, and majority is okay with it. People even who criticize them, they'll do it once or twice and then they'll just go with the flow. It's called peer pressure. Yes, we need it, we need to use it, but the question is, how do we use it?
I think we're running out of time, Muhammad. I hope we were able to deliver the message out there, and the choice is yours at the end of the day. So thank you very much, Engineer Muhammad Farooq, for being with me here today.
Thank you,
and tomorrow we have another show, and looking forward to see you all tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum.